It's no secret in 2026, going analog is absolutely blown up, and it's no longer becoming a trend, but it's becoming part of our everyday life. Part of it's because people are just tired of being online all the time. People are tired of the fakeness of social media, and by the way, this isn't a bash social media video. I like social media, but the reality is people are getting tired of it. And I can remember 9, 10, 11 years ago of people quitting social media. I remember posting some corny thing 5 years ago. I quit social media for 30 days, like anybody cared. But it's now reaching to the point where we're no longer just looking to quit social media. We're looking for something to replace it. Because let's be honest, our brains are chalked. They're done. I mean, these things are absolutely brain rotted. I can't sit and watch a movie without getting distracted if it doesn't entertain me within 30 seconds. It's really bad. And that's why we see all these trends of these analog bags where people are replacing their phones with like 7 different things that the phone was meant to replace. And while a lot of those videos are for TikTok and they're just for the show, and I don't think those people are actually walking around with 9 CDs, it goes to show just what world we live in and what world people are trying to go back to. And that is where it has crept into gaming. And I can just tell my personal experience of this when I tried to play Call of Duty Black Ops 7 for the first time in like 3 months. This was now 3 months ago, when they released that classic mode. If you don't play Call of Duty, just stay with me for a second. They released a mode that basically felt like the old Call of Duty. So like, I'll try it out. So I went, re-downloaded Black Ops 7. I downloaded all the updates. I turned it on. I then had to restart the game because it said update requires a restart. I'm like, okay, I just started the game after I updated, but fine, I'll restart the game. Got into the game and I got a trailer for a battle pass. I then got 7 ads for the battle pass for this skin, for that skin. I'm like, can I just play the game? And then when I got into the game, I had to change all my settings. Somehow my settings got reset. It was a whole mess. And I'm like, what happened to just turning on the game and pressing play? And it's no secret, handheld gaming since 2017 has absolutely blown up, partially because the systems have finally caught up to the point and the software has finally caught up to the point where it's actually capable of having really powerful systems in your hand, but also because people are busier. Gaming is not just a kids thing anymore. Adults, dads, people with real responsibilities just want to game for 20, 30 minutes at a time, and they don't want to have to, doom scroll all the time. They don't want to have to sit through tons of updates. People no longer have time to just sit and play Call of Duty for 7 hours, but they do have time for 15, 20-minute bursts, and that's where TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts have really taken over, because you could just watch Instagram Reels for 5 minutes while you're trying to kill time. But people are now trying to escape that, and that's where guys like these came in. These are those retro emulation handhelds. One is the Ibernic SP, this is the AYN Thor, 2 very different handhelds with 2 very different prices, 2 serving very different purposes. But the reason I'm showing you these before I get into the topic of today's video is because these have absolutely blown up. But one thing these don't have that I believe the system I'm going to talk about today has is the simplicity. I mean, although for me these systems weren't the worst thing to set up, I have a general knowledge of being able to set these up. I am nerdy, I understand how to do it. For the average consumer though, they might look at one of these and say, that's cool, but I don't have 3 hours and tons of tinkering to try to set up. And that's why I believe that the DS Lite in 2026 might just be the best option for handheld gaming. Let me explain. So you might be like, wait, why don't you just get a new 3DS? It plays all those DS games with a higher screen, plus you get all the 3DS games. I'm with you on that, but stay with me. A new 3DS XL or an original 3DS is now creeping up and up and up and up, and we're now seeing $250, $300 for a system that's 15, 20 years old. And that's no surprise, as all gaming has gone up in the last 6 years, including the newest consoles. I mean, the PS5 I bought 3 years ago is now basically an investment because it's now worth more than what I paid for it used 3 years ago. And yet somehow the DS Lite, at least as of making of this video, has sort of gotten hidden on all of that. I got this guy, well, now a while ago, for about $40, and I think on price charting they're about 60 to maybe 70, but generally speaking you can find these on Facebook Marketplace just with a charger for 40 to 50 to 60. And for a system that costs about the price of a almost new game or the price of 2 AAAs, you have access to thousands and thousands of games. And not like, oh, cheapy games. old games that nobody cares about. No, an entire library of the best Mario, the best Pokemon, and the best Zelda, and everything else in between. Not just like old games that nobody cares about, that like, oh, these aren't good games. No, like the best of the best Pokemon games are on here. Great Mario games, great Zelda games, great puzzle games, anything you can think of that, you know, scratches that itch from, hey, quick 5 to 10 minutes puzzle game, use my brain a little bit type like Brain Age, to full-blown Pokemon games, full-blown Zelda games, things that you can spend hours and hours diving into. And the next thing I want to talk about is a little wishy-washy. So for context, I don't support piracy. Of course, buy your own games, blah, 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 blah. But the reality is, you go on Amazon right now, you can buy this thing called an R4 card. It's like 20 bucks, and you got the entire DS library if you know how to download a thing online. I'm not going to show you where to do it, but it doesn't take a rocket science. And when I know you're like, wait, you just said people don't want to do that. I'm like, this is actually simple. You just plug in a micro SD card to your computer, you search up whatever game you want, you click download, you're good to go. It's that simple. I'm not going to show you how to do it today, but I promise you, if my dad can do it, you can do it. It's really that simple. And I think that's the biggest reason why the DS Lite, in my opinion, is the greatest system to buy right now. Again, over the 3DS, over these retro handhelds, just because how simple it is to buy, how simple it is to set up, and you're good to go. And of course, if you want to, you can go and buy Pokemon Platinum for 150 bucks. I think that defeats the purpose of buying this, but you can, and you don't even have to worry about downloading anything on the internet if you're too scared or too worried about doing that. But the DS Lite, for a system that came out in 2006, sorry, not 2026, 2006, is absolutely elegant. I mean, you can just tell Nintendo was way ahead of its time. They were definitely going for the Apple look. This is the red model. I kind of wish I had the black model. I think the white model is the one that's like super sought after just because of how clean it can look. But for a system that came out in 2006, it's got 2 backlit screens. I mean, it is absolutely a beautiful system. I mean, even just as simple as turning the thing on, it just sends me back. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Hold on. I muted it. That's awkward. Take 2. Keeping that in the video. Oh, that sound. Hours on PictoChat, hours on Pokemon Platinum, hours on Bakugan, hours on Mario Party, hours on Mario Kart DS. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of hours to be put on a system that costs less than $100 when you pair it with an R4 card. And there's a lot of talk about, oh, the system's portable. The Switch 2 is a portable device. The NY and the word's portable, but this thing is actually portable. I mean, this thing is slim. It will fit in your pocket, no problem. I usually wear jeans that are, I wouldn't consider skinny jeans, but they're definitely jeans that are a little tighter than shorts. So, and it still fits in my pocket. Absolutely perfect. And it's a little surprising to me that this system hasn't gone up in price. Just the fact that people my age, about the born around the 1998 to 2003, yes, I am unk, I am old, haven't really wanted to buy this system, whether it's because all the people are buying up new 3DSs to just get the best of all of the worlds, and this system has just somehow gone hidden. But I think this system, for the price, is a great get. And of course, it has that GBA cartridge slot as well. I mean, you could pair it with an EverDrive and boom, there you go. You got all of the GBA games. You could go buy the old GBA games. You got all the old GBA games ready to go. And that just opens up even more and more games that you can't even imagine. And again, it's a system, no updates. You're not worried about downloading anything. You're not worried about having to purchase anything extra. It's as simple as turning it on and pressing play. Of course, the DS Lite isn't perfect. It's a 20-year-old system. You're gonna find systems that are broken. You're gonna find systems with cracked hinges. I'm not saying it's an absolute perfect system, but I will say, I do think it is as close to a phone replacement as you can get. And let me explain. You can have your phone for all your text messages, your phone calls, anything that the phone is actually used for, your emails, anything your phone is actually used for. And when you want to play games, you can avoid being online with this thing. And I think that's really what makes it so special, is it's the perfect blend of old and new. You don't feel like you're compromising too much by playing it because the screens are so good. Anyone who goes around and plays an original Game Boy is 100% LARPing, because the original Game Boy, or even just the Game Boy Advance screen without any mods, looks a little absurd. And this screen absolutely holds up 20 years later. But what do you think about the DS Lite? Is it a system you would purchase in 2026? Is it maybe a little too old for you? Or is it a system you already own and absolutely love? Either way, let me know in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button, like button, and I'll look forward to seeing my next video. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. Goodbye.